Welcome, Brappers. And yes, it's a wet hair, don't care day. The reason for that is because I feel inspired to record right now. So I'm going ahead and recording right now. I'm just going to address the opening. Usually I say hi, guys. I put hi, guys on my posts. Everything I do, it's hi, guys. However, I've since been informed that that is politically incorrect, and I really don't want to offend people because we don't know what offends other people. So I'm running with Brappers. And if you want to say why Brappers, this evolved when I started the ITS BRAAP group on Facebook, and we had such a strong sense of community that people wanted to have an identifying term. And Christopher in the group at the time suggested Brappers. So we've been running with it ever since. And I've now decided that as we're going to try and build our brand, well, we are building our brand, it's a good place to start from. So let's just go back and start at the beginning. I knew nothing about computers. I knew nothing about social media. I just wasn't a tech person whatsoever. However, I discovered that Carlos Acosta had moved to MySpace. It said, "Do you want to join MySpace?" I thought, what's MySpace? Lenny Kravitz was on MySpace. I thought, okay, let's join MySpace. So I joined MySpace, and with the help of my son, I began to add one or two people. Interestingly enough, the first person that I ever added, Chang, he's still my friend on Facebook. We communicate. Gypsy was my fourth person, which I know because I couldn't see him among my friends. I thought I only had 3 friends. Just didn't know how it worked, didn't know how to open the friends. So you can tell it's been a long process to get here today. Also, I learnt about coding. Some of my friends at work showed me how I could customize my page on MySpace. I hadn't a clue about it. I didn't want a blank page. And that was the beginning of BRAAP, really, in its real form, because that's when I started adding videos. I had videos of music. I had videos of dance, pictures of statues, anything, everything that I was feeling at the time. So anyway, at some point along the line, having made loads of connections with different musicians from different genres, I even joined loud.com because I had rappers who wanted me to vote for them in the loud.com. So I was on a rap site. And yes, I did used to banter in rap occasionally. Enjoyed that. Apparently I had 100 grand flow. So there you go. You never know what's in you till you try. So eventually MySpace really slowed down, and this was because everybody had gone over onto Facebook. I went to see a friend of mine, Hez, and he added me on Facebook while I was up at the studio. And since then, it's just been an ongoing process, really. And, I have to say that social media has completely changed my life. For me, a lot of my real friends have come from social media. I know them in real life. I have people abroad that I speak to. I have people like Samantha Hollins that came from America, so I've met her. I've had other people that have come from different countries to the UK and I've met them. So I know them in real life as well as online. And obviously, I've got a lot of people in my network in London, going to different shows, things like that, working, doing different things for different people. I used to write a lot of bios at one point. All of these sort of things have contributed. And ITS BRAAP was really a platform to showcase my skills. The reason ITS BRAAP came about is because on Facebook, well, actually, initially on MySpace, I was running a MySpace page for a reggae musician who was in Sing Sing prison. So what for, I never bothered to ask. Someone asked me to take it over because they were unable to do it. So I was dealing with a lot of people in line with the reggae music. I never represented myself any differently to who I was. I made it quite clear I was running the page because I'm not going to impersonate somebody. And that went well for a long time until something happened in his personal life and I decided to decline running the page. And I'm not going into things like that. Then on Facebook, another friend of mine at the time started running a reggae group on there. So I took part in that, ended up being part of the admin for the group, deciding what kind of things we were posting. having lots of queries to deal with, dealing with a lot of new music and classic music, vintage music, reggae music, things to do with the Black Calendar, all sorts of stuff. So we covered reggae, we did do some gospel, all sorts of things. But one day I thought to myself, well, where have you gone, Jazz? You're not just reggae. You were reggae, you were art, you were ballet, you were dance. I was all sorts of things. And above all, I love to inspire, whether it's people around me at work. An example of that from many years ago, the cleaner on the ward when I worked at Springfield Hospital, I was working with the mothers and babies because my childcare qualifications came in use there, as opposed to nursing. And she was a cleaner, but she wanted to go for receptionist work over at St George's Hospital and didn't think she could possibly do it. And I think that's where I really began to actively inspire people, because I knew she could do it. And I gave her whole loads of reasons why she could, and she got the job. And I thought, you know what? This is what you like to do, inspire. And within BRAAP, it's BRAAP, I like to inspire people through sharing good quality music, anything from the arts, literally artwork, anything. Doesn't matter about culture. We're really multicultural here. And it's just bringing things to people's attention that are interesting, that encourage them to be creative. Also, with regards to poetry, I write a lot of my own poems. I share those over on the blog, It's BRAAP, It's Life, along with articles. I used to run series of articles to encourage people, like Live Life, Love Life. And I used to do that every single Sunday for the year. That was such a challenge. Obviously, it faded out in the end. But it is about learning how to cope with your own life, learning how to enhance your own life, learning how to overcome challenges in your life. And that's all really, really important to me. And I'm actually halfway through my level 7 NVQ in life coaching at the moment, because if I take something seriously, I want to study it. I think it's important not to just wing it in life, but to study things. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to be bringing in some elements here into the talks as well. But I just wanted to give you an overview today of what It's BRAAP is all about. You will have seen me at times covering various events. So yes, the quality of everything isn't going to be pristine. I am who I am, and I am where I am, and I am learning. I'm sort of maybe one rung up the ladder over people who've never done any of this, maybe 2 rungs, I don't know. But in terms of technical abilities, I'm definitely nowhere near the top. And people that I follow, I notice how they start out very small and then they start ending up having their own little prepped up studio and thoroughly editing. And yes, I need to learn a lot of that. The first thing I need to learn, and I am going to do, is find a video editor so I can just put a bit of background music on, because I like background music. And I would like to be able to add artist background music who I support in my videos. So it's not just something, general, but something with a purpose. So I can say to you, today's track is dot by dot, because my key thing is to help spread the word about other people's achievements. I think we can always grow together. So I will be bringing you different things. I do actually have a professor who wants me to share information about his injection to do with diabetes and weight loss. Now, that's quite an interesting thing that will help people in their lives as well, because if you can get your weight or your diabetes under control, obviously, then there's more that you're going to be able to achieve. So initially it sounds a bit outside the box, but it's not. It's BRAAP is about life. And when people say to me, what does BRAAP stand for? I say, be ready and act promptly. And the reason I say that is because it's what I've got to do. It's not what I always do. There's so many people I want to interview and I've not had the time or the space to do it. But I still have that intention, and I'm going to ask the universe to create the time, the space, and the finance to enable me to do the things that I want. And as you can see, this video is not going to be edited. I've made lots of mistakes tripping over my words, but we're real. We're all real people living in an everyday world. That's the perspective I come from. and we've all just got to do what we can do to fulfill ourselves and other people. And the more aims we have to help other people, the better we're going to feel about ourselves too. It all goes together. It's one hand helping the other, you know? Anyway, that's basically the summing up of what ITS BRAAP is about. It's a window into many worlds. We said that before. I like that. Chris Chambers came up with that idea from his theatre group. I think it embraces everything that ITS BRAAP is about. It is a window into many, many worlds. And you're living in many of those worlds. We all are. So I do hope to see you subscribing to the channel. All of us need to build up. Like, subscribes, shares. I'm going to do that. I've learned it. We all have to do it, whether we want to do it or not. We have to do it if we're on social media. I will be looking at which platforms to extend to, and I will be sharing my experience and everybody else's experiences too. So if you want to make short videos about challenges you've overcome, if you want to make short videos to display your talents, you might be an artist and put together a little reel that I can share, things like that. This is a platform for sharing other people's abilities, ambitions, all of that kind of thing. So I'm going to say over and out, have a fantastic day and be part of the ITS BRAAP community. Thank you for listening and goodbye for now.